Today we will be meeting the sergeant from the Statesville Police Department.
He's going to give us a little bit of information about what the police department actually does for the city of Statesville, and maybe a little more information just as soon as we can meet with him in just a moment. Today we're meeting with Chris Bowen, a captain with the Statesville Police Department. And he's going to fill us in a little bit about what the responsibilities and duties of our city police officers are.
We, law enforcement itself is, we're obviously charged with all the duties and enforcement of the local laws and things of that nature. As police officers, we normally, are concerned obviously with the state laws, but we also have the city ordinances and things that are a little different as well. So those fall within our jurisdiction. Here at the police department, we've got several different divisions. The bulk of those being our patrol officers. They're more than half of our officers. They're the guys that you see out on the field on a daily basis. Within that group, we've got some canine officers as well. We've got some special operations team guys. Then we also have our school resource officers, our cops units guys, a couple housing officers. We also have our investigations division, and so those are just some different ones that are within those groups in reality.
What kind of school or education is required to become a policeman?
Well, the state of North Carolina says you got to have a minimum of a high school diploma or a GED. I will tell you, in most cases, they don't get it. We're looking for much more qualified people than that. We don't actually mandate a college degree, but it is very highly preferred. At least a 2-year degree, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in criminal justice. Something else, along the lines of psychology and things of that nature, or social issues, are also really good backgrounds for law enforcement officers. Then the other minimum is that you must be at least 20 years old to work for a city police department, 21 for a sheriff's office, but 20 for a city police officer. And then you have to take the North Carolina Basic Law Enforcement Training course, which is typically offered through the community colleges. That is the bare minimum standards. So,
what are some of the really difficult things you have to deal with as a police officer in Statesville?
We deal with a lot of things, from your average little traffic stops out here and all, on up to and including, homicide issues. Statesville it's a small town in reality, but we have all the same problems everyone else has. And so our patrol officers, like I said, they deal with anything from your average little traffic stops to the larceny at Walmart to they very well may be the first on the scene, and like I said, at a homicide call. And really anything and everything in between. So we've got it all. We really do here.
As far as working with the schools, do y'all just work with Statesville Senior High? Or?
No, actually, as far as our officers are concerned, we have officers at the high school and at the middle school and at the alternative school here in town as well. So we've got those that we cover with our guys.
Okay. What other law enforcement bodies do you get to work with?
We typically work obviously with the sheriff's office here. We also have several other contacts with the ATF, the SBI, DEA, the FBI at times. All those resources are available that we can call and make use of whenever we need them. We have a couple officers that are also cross-sworn as federal agents on some drug and narcotics type task force units. So we have access to all those resources for things that we can't do here, honestly.
Is there a need for police officers today with students that are graduating high school?
Yeah, the need is growing. If you look nationwide, the numbers of applicants are down. It's not the big desired career that it was several years ago. The numbers overall are kind of down across the country. And it's gotten to the point that it's also, like I said, we're looking for more qualified people in reality too. And it's, we're truly looking for the people now that want to make it a career. We've seen some folks over the last few years that thought they were interested, and they got in for a couple years and decided it weren't for me. And it's not for everyone. It's really not. So we've we've streamlined our processes somewhat, and we're a lot more focused on our hiring and how we're doing that, because we're wanting those more career-minded people. We have several openings now that we're trying to fill and work. And I'll be honest, I'd rather be a little short-handed than have people that aren't qualified and really dedicated to the job.
Do you have to live inside the county to be a Statesville police officer?
No, actually you don't. We have a take-home car policy. That's kind of our only restriction on residencies. Our policy is if you want to take home car, you have to live within a 22-mile radius of the city or the city office building in downtown. But other than that, we don't actually have a restriction on residencies like some departments do, so we don't.
And a correction, Mr. Bowen is a captain, so we messed up on that. Are y'all doing anything special for the coronavirus?
We have taken some extra precautions. That's part of the reason I guess we're standing outside today. It is a nice day, but we have actually kind of shut down the lobby, trying to limit access as much as possible. Our patrol officers are taking some little different precautions. They've all been issued masks and a lot of extra gloves and sanitizers, things of that nature. They've had all the safety briefings, things that, to take those extra precautions. We typically don't do a lot of reports over the telephone, but in the last few weeks we have made some exceptions for that, just to limit some officers' contact on a lot of those, on the smaller ones. And it's not that we don't want to be non-personal by coming out and seeing people. It's just kind of the logical thing to do. So yeah, we've kind of lessened up on those restrictions, because we used to we'd always come out to see you if you called. Now we're taking some of those on by the phone if we can. So it worked, and it's worked out pretty well.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully this will help our kids out at school.
No problem,
really
anytime. And maybe if they're interested when it's done later on, they can come back and see me, and we'll get them into our recruit program. How's that?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate your time.
Enjoyed it.
Have a great day.
Thank you.